The initial cost of owning a Porsche. When it comes to owning a Porsche, the first thing that grabs you is the price. These cars don't come cheap. Depending on the model and extras you pick, you're looking at anything from about $60,000 all the way past $300,000. Take the Macan, for example. Porsche just rolled out the all-electric version, but they're still keeping the gas-powered one around, for now. The 2026 gas Macan kicks off at $66,950, destination charge included. Then you've got the Cayenne, Porsche's bigger crossover. It starts at $91,150 and just got a mid-cycle refresh with sharper styling, more screens inside, and even the return of the V8 in the Cayenne S. And of course, no Porsche lineup is complete without the 911. The 2026 Carrera starts at $134,650, packing 388 horsepower from its flat six. Sure, it's technically the base model, but with a 0 to 60 time of 3.9 seconds, it still drives like something way more exotic. On the electric side, we've got the Taycan. It first hit the roads in 2019, and by 2025, Porsche gave it a big upgrade. More range, more power, and an even stronger rear motor. The 2026 base model starts at about $106,000. But like with any Porsche, the price climbs fast. The Taycan Turbo GT, that one pushes past $240,000, and it doesn't even pretend to be sorry about it. And here's the kicker. This is before you even touch customization. With Porsche, the options list is just as dangerous as the horsepower. Special paint jobs, luxury interiors, carbon fiber trims, and performance upgrades can stack up fast, adding tens of thousands to the price. So, if you're eyeing a Porsche, just know you're signing up for a serious financial commitment from day one. Maintenance. Now, once you've spent that kind of money, keeping the car in top shape becomes more than just a responsibility, it's a necessity. Regular servicing and maintenance aren't just about preserving performance, they're about protecting your investment and saving yourself from even bigger repair bills down the line. Every car needs maintenance, but with Porsche, the stakes get even higher. Take the tires and wheels as an example. High-performance tires for a Porsche can cost between $200 to $500 per tire, depending on the size and the brand. Seems decent until you realize these high-performance tires wear out much faster than normal tires. We're talking about changes in estimated rotations between every 5,000 to 8,000 miles, which for most drivers works out to every 6 months. Changing the wheel itself is another thing. To get a standard 100% OEM Porsche rim wheel set, the pricing goes up to as high as $7,300. It is relatively cheaper on sites like eBay, especially when filtered down to pre-owned prices. A Panamera 22-inch costs anywhere from $1,300 to $2,500, but by the time shipping figures get included, the figures bump up by another $300. When it comes to repairs, they're just as pricey. This is mainly due to the premium alloys. For a bent rim with minor damage, the estimated cost per wheel comes in at between $75 to $100. A bent rim with moderate damage would cost between $150 and $250, while severe damage, like a major deformation, costs $250 up. The standard brake cost for a Porsche is already expensive, an estimated $2,300, which includes paying for the parts and labor, but for a Porsche with carbon ceramic brakes, it could go as high as $16,600. Protection. Then there's the PPF to think about too. The Porsche Paint Protection Film Job for partial frontal PPF packages range from $950 to $1,600. A full frontal PPF from $1,500 to $2,500. The Plus version of this gets bumped up to between $2,700 and $3,600, and a full body package anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000. Now, should you decide to opt for ceramic coating, the pricing is relatively cheaper, ranging from $249 to $599. For premium users who want the best experience with a Porsche, it's recommended to use both installing PPF on the front clip of the vehicle and using ceramic coating anywhere else, meaning a full-body job can range from as low as $3,000 to as high as $12,599. Insurance. When it comes to insuring a Porsche, the cost can swing wildly depending on who's behind the wheel and what model is in the driveway. Insurance companies take just about everything into account: the age of the driver, driving record, credit score, how often the car is driven, and even the zip code it's parked in at night. For a rough baseline, CarEdge estimates that a 40-year-old driver with good credit, a clean record, and about 13,000 miles of annual driving will pay around $4,170 a year to insure a Porsche. That's about $1,275 more than other luxury brands and more than double the average U.S. car insurance cost of $2,068. But here's where it gets wild. The younger you are, the scarier that insurance bill looks. An 18-year-old with bad credit could be staring at a jaw-dropping $22,612 a year just to stay covered. By 25, it drops to around $10,209, and by 30, it's still no bargain at about $7,952 if credit hasn't improved. Now compare that to a 55-year-old with good credit and a clean record. They're paying a way friendlier $3,721 a year on average. The good news? Specialty insurers often cut better deals for exotic and high-end cars, so shopping around can really save you, especially if you're young and don't want your insurance bill to feel like a second car payment. Daily driving and fuel. Fueling a Porsche is never just about filling up a tank. It's about feeding a high-performance machine that was built for speed, not for saving pennies at the pump. These engines are tuned for thrills, and that usually means higher fuel costs compared to the average car. How much you should actually spend depends on the model, the engine size, your driving style, and even where you live. Take the 2020 Boxster or Cayman, for example. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, driving one of these will cost about $4.26 for every 25 miles, which adds up to roughly $2,550 a year. Over 5 years, that's about $4,250 more than the owner of a typical new car would spend on fuel. Step up to something like the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera, and the price of performance climbs even higher. Running the 911 works out to about $4.87 for every 25 miles driven, or $2,900 a year. Over 5 years, that's nearly $6,000 extra at the gas station compared to an average car. Of course, not every Porsche drains your wallet the same way. The all-electric Taycan, for instance, is a much lighter load on fuel costs. It works out to just $1.83 per 25 miles, or around $1,100 per year. Still, over 5 years, Taycan drivers end up paying about $3,000 more than the owner of an average new car, but the difference is far smaller with Porsche's gas-powered lineup. When it comes to daily driving, reliability really depends on the model, but one thing is consistent across the brand: repairs usually cost more. Porsche parts are pricey, and fixing them requires specialized expertise. Depending on the issue, an owner might pay a few $100s, or, in extreme cases, more than $20,000. Depreciation. Unlike the average family sedan, a Porsche has this timeless magic that keeps people hooked. Decades later, enthusiasts still get just as excited about sliding into the driver's seat of a 40-year-old Porsche as they do with a brand new one. That kind of staying power is rare in the car world, and it's a big reason why owning one feels less like a purchase and more like joining an exclusive club. Of course, not all Porsches hold their value equally. Models like the Cayenne, Panamera, and Macan behave much like other luxury cars, dropping steadily in value over time. But the 911? Now that's the crown jewel. A brand new 911 loses only about 15% of its value in the first 5 years. Compare that to the Panamera, which can shed nearly 45% in the same period. In a used car market that's been bouncing around unpredictably, the 911 has remained surprisingly steady. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Older Porsches often find a second life. Many 20-year-old models have already hit their lowest price point, sometimes going for as little as $20,000. But certain classics, like the legendary 993 models, have started to skyrocket in value, with some selling for well over $100,000 at auctions, like Bring a Trailer. The big takeaway is clear: a Porsche isn't just a car. It's a long-term investment in both driving joy and potential future value. For anyone buying one, the smartest move is to think long-term, because chances are, the longer you hold on to it, the more rewarding the ride will be. While the costs of Porsche ownership often dominate the conversation, the real magic lies in the benefits. And that's where the story gets exciting. Owning a Porsche isn't just about having a car in the driveway. It's about stepping into a world of speed, craftsmanship, and heritage.